like I said, discovered it on the Little Smoky. I was fishing with an olive nymph with a red bead, and I was catching a fish damn near every cast. I went on for quite a while, and finally a grayling swallowed the darn thing, and I cut it off because I didn't want to kill the fish, of course, and I started rummaging my fly bag. Couldn't find one with a red bead on it, so I put one on with a gold bead. And I started fishing with that, and I was catching a fish every 4 or 5 casts instead of pretty near every cast. I thought, well, what the hell is this anyways? So I went back to my bag and I rummaged through it, and I finally found another one with a red bead on it. Sure enough, I put that thing on and it was pretty near every cast again when I was catching fish. So this bead, you have to tie it with a red bead on it, and I don't know what it is, but red bead on it, and it catches fish. That's the only thing I can say. And like I said, I discovered this thing 20, 40, or 30 years ago or whatever. So I usually tie it with a red bead, usually a red tungsten bead, usually either 1/8 or 7/64 or whatever I can find. How's that sound? The hook I use is, how did I put it out here? Ken made me move it. I use a 1510 Daiichi hook, size 12, and that's all I've ever used for this hook. It's a egg hook by Daiichi, and is a short shanked hook, so it's almost the size 15, or 15, I'll be right, almost the size 14, maybe even leaning towards a 16. I take the barb off when I first start, and like I tell people, I don't think it's the material specifically. I called it a Llama leech because that's all I use is olive llama and an olive hackle, partridge hackle, or a soft hackle of some sort, as long as it's olive. And like I said, you could use, I'm sure you could use marabou, use a marabou tail. You could likely use marabou for the body and put your green hackle on it. Again, I'm sure it would work. I've not tried it, but this is olive, or this is olive. This is llama, and I have llama here. I almost, as long as it's got an olive color to it, because I've used a golden olive, it seems to have worked. Anything that's olivey anyways, it doesn't matter. I've used almost like a moss olive even, and that's worked. So, and what it's representing, I have absolutely no idea. It could be almost anything. And it's like so freaking basic, it's unbelievable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of olive llama.
You drew blood.
I did, yeah. And I'm going to put the tail on here. And this was pretty near the fly of choice when we were on the Little Smoky here a couple, 2 or 3 weeks ago doing the grayling survey. I had a fish on in what matter of 2 minutes when we started out. And then I'm just going to take the olive dubbing, the same color as the tail. And I try to give it some kind of a taper. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it doesn't matter. And then what I do is I have olive partridge. I've used soft, like a hand hackle. I've used, a speckled up dyed olive, and it works just as well. I don't worry too much about the length of you don't want it super long, but I don't really measure out too much on the size of the fibers on the hackle. And just trim it off. And if you're steady enough, you can pull that in a little bit and take that off if you want to. Oh, somebody's got my hackle plier. Oh, there it is. When I do hackle, I use these guys here. They're fantastic on feathers. For the dubbing loops and stuff like that, I don't use them. I use the regular pliers, but with the feathers and stuff like that, I use these things here. They're fantastic.
Do you still buy those?
Say what?
Do you still buy those?
Yep. I make sure that every order I put in, I make sure that these are with it.
You can see them, they're called easy clips.
Easy clips, okay.
And then I just... And I don't do a big collar here at all. I'll do 1.5 to 2 wraps. And just... Like I say, this thing is really simple. Come on.
Yes, Llama Leech.
Say who?
Yes, Llama Leech.
Yep. Like, I think it's small enough that it can be a leech, it could be a scud, it could be even a small minnow, and like,
Damselfly, dragonfly.
yeah, exactly, and like I said, I mean, I caught over a 50 centimeter, or millimeter is like, no centimeter, I don't know, centimeter, I guess it is.
Big one, centimeter.
Yeah, the bigger one, yeah, walleye with it, like, totally out of nowhere, and sure enough, walleye on it. Like. But that's it, and then I'll take either a red marker or orange. I like either orange or red, just for And that's it.